grab whatever it is you will need prop-wise. Usually a few pillows. Candles are nice if you want to pop on some music. Of course, pop on some music. I have lit some candles and incense as well. And I'm going to set up for reclined butterfly. What you will need to do is make a tower of pillows or bolsters. If you have blocks, it's great to put blocks underneath and prop them up at an angle. I don't have those, but I'll probably angle my pillows a little bit since I have loads. And then come with the pelvis quite close to your props so that the pelvis is almost supported. The bum is on the floor of the mat, and then lower back connects to the props. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. And then lay back onto the props. Oh, I was kind of hoping my head would be supported, I guess. Maybe I need another pillow. So you might need a few breaths to get organized so that you are comfortable here for the next few moments. Hands wherever feel comfortable. You might leave them down beside the body, palms facing up to get an extra opening across the heart space. You might take one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly to connect your centers of courage and compassion. You might rest the hands in the lap. Wherever you decide to rest the hands, commit to leaving them there. Commit to a stillness without fidgeting, adjusting. Commit to a focus on the breath. And commit to your practice. We'll be here for the next 4 minutes. So allowing your body to soften into the props. Allow the jaw and the third eye space, the space between the eyebrows, to soften. Begin to notice the rise and fall of the belly. As you breathe in and out. Begin to draw the knees together. And slowly make your way off your props. And place them over to the side and then come to lay flat on your back in rebound pose. So laying down on the floor, arms beside the body, palms facing up. Allow the toes to flop out to the side and let the body be completely heavy on the earth. Bringing some life back into the body. It might feel good to hug the knees into the chest or take a gentle happy baby. Massage out the lower back. And then however you need to get there, whether it's rolling over to your side or walking straight up. Come on up to a seat. We'll continue with this butterfly shape with the legs, soles of the feet together, knees apart. This time folding forward into a forward fold, so you can have the props out in front. If this is a lot on the knees, you can prop the knees up either side. If you're quite tight through the hamstrings or the hips, you might also sit up onto a pillow or a bolster or a block. So whatever it is you need to do to find the pose most appropriate for your body. And then rather than pulling the upper body down, which I see a lot with the fingertips or the hands or the shoulders, can we let the arms soften, relax? Maybe even taking the backs of the hands out in front and allowing the palms to face up. Give the shoulders a little shake, make sure there's no tension there, and let the head hang completely heavy. Now it may rest in the feet or on a prop, or it may just hang in space. Identifying a part of the body that you might be able to soften. Can you let go a little deeper, surrender deeper into the pose? Softening through the face and the shoulders. Although I can't see you, I know at least one or two will be holding tension there. And I haven't mentioned a target area for this posture, because depending on where it is you hold tension or where you are tight, this pose will grab you there. So for some people this will be the hamstrings, others the hips, others the back, shoulders. For some it will be inner thighs, the adductor muscles. Butterfly pose is like a multitasker of the yin asana. It's a great way to open up practice, getting a little bit of space throughout the body. Activating liver, kidney, urinary bladder, gall bladder, meridian line. It's also a nice opportunity to begin to draw inwards, connecting to that yin state. Your eyes might be closed here. Notice the breath. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Slowly peel the upper body up, curling up through the spine. And then come to lay flat on the back for a rebound pose. And as you uncurl the spine, allowing each vertebrae to connect to the earth, and the head to be heavy on the floor, as you unravel, expand, you feel a sense of openness through the body. Sense of freedom, of lightness, expansion. But also a sense of surrender. As you lay here on the floor, palms facing up, heart open. And draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze or do whatever it is you need to do before making your way up to all fours. Might be nice to have a few props ready, which I don't actually, so I'm just going to grab this little pillow for my knee. So a blanket or a thin pillow behind you for dragon grabbing its tail. This posture might not be available to everyone in its full expression, but I will give a few options. So similar to dragon pose, we will step the right foot forward and bring the left knee onto the prop. And then either on the floor or on a prop, rest the left forearm on the floor. The right knee can track out to the side, and you might also turn the toes at an angle or even come on to the baby toe side of the foot. And then the right arm reaches behind you, so you're twisting towards the right knee, which is bent towards the front of the mat. And then bend that left leg behind you and take hold. My hamstrings are super tight today. Take hold of the foot. The target area here is the left hip flexor, which is down the front of the left leg, the quad, all the way up towards the belly. So the groin, the front of the hip crease. Notice if maybe you're feeling this in the right glutes or the right hip crease in a stopping or a stuck or compression sensation. And if so, maybe walk the leg out a little further or back, or turn the toes at a different angle. Let the shoulders soften and allow the hips to sink deep towards the earth. So this should feel quite a strong opening or elongation down the front of the left leg. If you can't quite grab the left foot, that's no problem. You might use a strap if you have one, or a jumper, or a tie, whatever it is you have in your house. Or you can just leave the left leg go, rest the left hand on the body or on the floor, and find an opening like that in our regular dragon pose. Notice a part of the body that you might be able to soften, whether it's the belly, the glutes, the face, the hips. And work to direct the breath towards that left hip flexor. Slowly release the left leg, finding your way out of the pose, and come to lay flat on the back. And as you lay here in rebound, tune into any differences that might arise from left and right side of the body. And if there aren't any, that's perfectly fine as well. Bring some movement back into the body. Take any movement that feels right for you at this time. And then come back up to all fours, setting up for a dragon, pulling its tail on the other side. This time the left leg steps out in front, right knee on a pillow or a blanket behind you. Right forearm or hand to the floor or to a prop. Adjust the left leg as you need, and then either finding a twist with or without grabbing holds of the right foot with the left hand. And then slowly bake your way to rebound. on our backs, bend the knees, plant the feet on the earth, and then press the shoulders and the feet into the floor so that the hips lift off the mat, and then shift the hips over towards the left hand side and place them back on the floor so they're out of alignment with the feet and the shoulders. The left knee lifts up and you wrap the left knee over the right. Now you might also wrap at the ankles, or you might not. And then let the knees fall over to the right. And keep the shoulders softening to the floor. Hands, however, is comfortable for you. And gaze is in any direction that is comfortable for you. Target area, or the purpose for this pose, is a twist in the thoracic spine, the upper back, or the upper spine. Now you might feel this down the left hip, the outside of the hip, the glute area, or the IT band, running down the side of the left leg, which is our secondary target area, but often the one where we feel this most during the pose because we tend to have tighter hips. Begin to unravel the legs, recenter the hips, and then come straight to rebound, extend the legs out in front. And often this pose can be felt more in the rebound than the actual pose. Sometimes big difference between both sides of the body. Soles of the feet to the floor, knees bend. Lift the hips off the floor. Shift them over to the right. Place them back onto your mat. Lift the right knee and place it over the left. You might also wrap at the ankles. And let the knees drift over to the left. Shoulders soften towards the floor. And find rebend. Unwrap the legs. Replace the hips towards the center of the mat. Extend the legs out in front. And hug the knees to the chest. Take any movements that your body needs to make or wants to make. And then come on up into all fours for our last posture, or last shape, frog. So this will open up the adductor muscles, the inner thighs. Cranky knees lots of padding, or if you know this really isn't for you, lay on your back, legs at the wall, and take the legs out to a V. Another option is tadpole, which is a very wide leg child's pose. If you are moving into frog, I like to have a lot of props for this. Knees are wide, and then hips and knees in one line, hips and ankles in one line, and then allow the body to rest out in front. Now what can sometimes happen is we bring the hips a little bit too forward or too back for coming into tadpole. But for frog, we want the hips in one line, and also then have a check where the ankles are. And then upper body rests out in front. So there should be quite a deep, deep opening through the adductors, the inner thighs. And work to soften as much as you can. Making your way out, whatever shape you're in. And come to lay in rebound flat on your back. Move straight into Shavasana, and you can just melt straight there. If you'd like to make any adjustments to your props, of course do. take a deep breath in together. And then exhale, let the practice go. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.